Let's get down to this testimony that changed your life forever. So let's jump into the story of your experience. This nobody should ever judge a sexual assault victim because we talk about what were you wearing, what were you doing, where were you at? What did you say? Did you tease him? Did you flirt with him?
Right.
Because the first thing that the carnal mind, the sinful mind, is thinking, what did the woman do to the man?
Right.
We gotta start holding the actual perpetrator or predator accountable. So the
Right.
first question that I want to know, just like my viewers are sitting here watching us saying, who introduced you to this rapist?
A coworker.
What?
Yeah, a coworker.
I
Which
can't-
happened to be her boyfriend or significant other. Yeah.
Oh God, that's even worse. Okay, so you got this coworker. How long had you known this coworker, and what was your relationship with her? Were you like extremely comfortable? Get in this. I had to follow up. I'm thinking about this more.
Um, she was an acquaintance. We weren't really, really close, but when you know how you at work and you just have people that you just mesh with, you just cling to because you personalities are favorable, and so that's the type of relationship we had. We had a favorable co-worker relationship where, hey girl, casual conversation, or if one of us was having a down day, we knew how to pick each other up, type of relationship.
Okay, so Gwendolyn, for everybody, did you tell me that you were kind of you were saved at the time, and you were kind of like a counselor to her, right? Like a encourager to her, like we do as people of faith, right?
Right. So she confided in me about her relationship. It was on off, wasn't consistent, but I love him so, and so I'm helping her to reason through some things to help her wake up. Is he good enough for you, or
yes,
can
you
this
doing the
really
coaching
work out, or you just so sprung or hooked on him that you're just comfortable in it? And so I would help her give girlfriend relationship advice, so to speak. And so yeah.
But you would say you trusted her, right?
Oh yeah, I did trust her.
With that said, this leads us to, okay, walk us through, and you can give as much detail as you want, and the floor is yours, and I'm gonna be out the way, and I'll interject when I need. But tell us about what the events leading up to that night.
Well, leading up to that night,
Yeah.
my mom had actually volunteered to keep my infant baby. And so I was excited just to know, I get to go out, I get to let my hair down. Family, I get a break. Thank you, Lord. I don't have to worry about working, and I don't have to worry about, this is your child, you gonna watch your child, I'm not raising your baby. You know how mothers is. And so when she was like, you know what, you deserve a break. Go ahead, let's go have fun with your friend. On the way to the young lady's house, I'm driving, got my K104 on the radio, and I'm, just getting in tune for the night. And so I hear loud in my ear, don't go, turn around. And I literally slammed on the brakes because I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. Somebody, and I started checking, who in this car with me? So
Amen.
I heard it. Like when I checked, I was like, Gwen, you tripping. You tripping. You haven't been accustomed to this type of freedom, and that's you. I heard it the same way 2 other times. Turn around, don't go.
My God, that small still
So,
voice.
yeah, I overrode that voice, and I knew what I heard, and I almost turned around, but because I just wanted to get out, I don't get this opportunity often, and I'm young, and I want to enjoy my evening. And so I overrode the voice, and when I made it to the young lady's house, I was still uneasy. And so at that point, when I get to her door, it's more like, I think I need to go home. I'm really not feeling this. And you know how girl, you here now. What you
Yes.
doing? Yeah. And so, of
Yes.
course, that reignited the
Peer
excitement.
pressure. Peer pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Reignited it. And I was like, you know what? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right. Not telling her what I heard on the way to the house. It was more of I'm trying to accommodate my feelings and her at the same time. And so because I had committed to going out with her. And so but while I was there, I got another warning. And she says to me, I know you've been trying to counsel me, and we're going to say Chucky for the sake of the name. We're going to, don't worry about it. If he asks you to, go outside and finish talking, trying to get back with me, don't worry about it. And I said, girl, you tripping. Y'all been together too long. Like, come on. What's happened now? Because just 3 days ago, y'all was lovey-dovey. So, me trying to reason with her telling me if he tried to do this, ignore him. And so I got that warning. And so when we get to the club and whatnot, it happened just like she said. He did ask me to come out because I need to finish talking to you. She's still ignoring me. And I need you to just intervene. What can I do? And so here my gullible self. Okay, it is loud in here. Let's go. Yeah, let's step outside. And so because of the type of attire I had on, he said, your shoe is untied. And I looked down, and of course, I just couldn't bend over. I mean, I could, but the parking lot is full. You got a line outside the door. And so he was like, just come sit in my car. I ain't going to do nothing. You good, you straight, And so that's what I took it as. I was like, what could he possibly do to me? Like, what can happen to me?
Yeah.
So I get in his car. I go to tie my shoe, and he slams the door. And I'm like, why did you shut this door? And when I went to try to open it, it was rigged. And instantly, my survival instincts kicked in. Because
Hold on a minute. For everybody at home, this is for women in protection. What do you mean it was rigged? Describe the doors.
I could not. The only way you can open that door is from the outside. I could not open the door from the inside.
Did they rip off those handles?
The handle.
Okay. The panels.
Yeah.
Okay, continue, because you're getting ready to get in a fight mode, and I need them to hear this.
Right.
Go ahead,
and
baby.
So I'm because I was accustomed to watching, the shows of New York Undercover and Law and Order. Literally, these scenarios are running in my head, especially when I turned around and I saw a gun in the back seat. And so all I hear her repeating as well as the scenarios is flying through my, running through my vision. I hear her, don't go outside. Don't go with him if he asks you. And I'm like beating myself up, like I should have listened. I should have went home when I heard the voice. But at this moment, what's going to happen? I can't get out. And so when he gets in a car, I was like, what you doing? Like, why can't I go open the door? What do you, I'm not understanding. And he was like, be quiet. And he drives off the parking lot. And I was like, oh my God, my life is literally about to end. I don't know what to do. Nobody knows I'm gone with him. I have no cell phone. I don't have any way of knowing anywhere in the vicinity where I was at, because that was my first time at that club. And so all I know is he pulled over into an empty parking lot, and that's when he began to pressure himself on me. And at that moment, I had just blanked out. I can't tell you one thing or another. All I know is when I made it back to the club, when he opened the door to let me out, I literally was crawling on the ground. And when I would crawl and get back up to make it inside to get to her to say, I need help. My cousin ended up running into me, and I literally just fell in his arms. And I'm like, I'm weak. I need to go to the hospital. And he drove me. My cousin happened to be there, and I know that was God's like divine intervention. Even after I had disobeyed his voice, I knew it was God just get me to the place of help. And so he had his girlfriend to drive my mother's car to the hospital. And when I saw the medical reports after they had did their rape kit exam, I was blown away because in my mind, I was numb. I didn't feel what was going on. When I say I blanked out, I have no recollection of that other than me was like, stop, okay. And I'm trying to reason with him. I don't want to do it in the car. Take me back. And I know for a fact, I remember saying that part. I said, if you just take me back, you can have it. Like, but I don't want to do it in the car. I don't feel comfortable in the car. And he was like, shut up. Nobody tells me no. And like I said, I don't know if that was the only reason that he stopped by me saying, you can take it, just get me to somewhere decent. I don't know. All I know is by the time I made it back to the club, my cousin was there and he took me to the hospital. And from the medical reports, I'm literally wasn't supposed to be able to give birth past my first child because my uterus was so damaged. Yeah.
Well, I tell you right now, they ain't heard the rest of this. Now with that, yeah, this is what your story is what prayer changes things. And God will avenge.
God will avenge you.
He will. And so let's talk specifically to the audience about your hearing from a distance of the status of this criminal throughout the years. Walk us through that all the way up to the church incident.
So for 14 years, I would get reports here and there. Either he was killed or he was ran over or his girlfriend shot him or it was always something to the point by the time I got the fourth report, I said, I don't want to hear no more. I'm done with it. And so I lived in Plano at the time and I drove to East Texas to go to the service with my brother that night to rejoice and just to thank God that you allowed our granddad to survive and live through what supposed had taken him out. And as I'm in service, the preacher was preaching about the withered hand. That's what the topic was about. God performing a miracle. Stretch forth thy withered hand and be healed. And it was made whole. And I seen this guy roll up a seat ahead of me in a wheelchair. He was a quadriplegic. And I turned to my brother and I said, wouldn't it be amazing why this man is preaching this message of this miracle that God raised that man up out the wheelchair? And so my brother said, he looked at me and he was like, yeah, you know? And so I was like, whoa, that would just top my night. I mean, God, I have the faith for it. Because I'm a faith talker. I'm a faith believer. I know I have seen God do many, many miracles. And so this was nothing. And so for some reason, I keep staring at this individual because he kind of looked familiar, but then he kind of don't. Yeah. And so all I know is when we locked eyes eventually, I knew that was my rapist in that chair. And I got out of my seat, went to the bathroom, and I was just bawling my eyes out. And I was questioning God, how could you allow this to happen? How could you let this be? I was mad at my brother, and God spoke to me. He said, before you knew who he was, you wanted me to heal him. Now you have to forgive him tonight. And I'm like, forgive him? You have to forgive him tonight. Don't let tonight pass and you don't forgive him. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Just as clear as I heard God's voice tell me, turn around, don't go, it's just as clear as I heard God say, I have to forgive this man. Wow. And I get back to my seat. And now I'm processing. I'm processing the fact that I have to forgive somebody that offended me. I have to forgive somebody that violated me. I have to forgive somebody that trespassed against me. And in that moment of me processing that, I completely went numb. In that whole service, I took my eye and my focus off of the message, and I had to bring my spirit man in alignment, and I had to bring my flesh into subjection. Am I going to obey God tonight, or I'm going to risk something else happening to me by operating in disobedience again? I made the choice to obey God that night. As he was walking out at the end of service during offering, I followed him out the door. And my brother said, "Do you need me to go with?" I said, "No, I'm fine now. I'm okay. I have the courage to do this." And I stopped him. He said, "What do you want? You've been looking at me all service. What you want with me?" I said, "I just want to tell you I forgive you." He said, what are you saying forgive me for? What? I said, "It doesn't even matter anymore. Just know I forgive you." Literally in the spirit, I heard chains fall off my life. I was able to drive home, enter into a dark house, go up my stairs in a dark place without having to turn on lights and be in panic and watch over my shoulder, not realizing for 14 years I lived in darkness. I lived in fear, all connected to him in this incident that I never related. And God was saying, that's why you had to forgive him, because he had a subconscious hold on you. And I'm trying to take you to a liberated place so you can then go express to people, justice is in me. Justice is in me, and it's not where you trying to seek it. It's not where who you think should give it to you, but justice is in me, and it comes through forgiveness. And that's when I begin to truly live. That's when I begin to truly love the people, the male figures around me.